Dear young leaders, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed delegates, I am very much pleased to join you for this intergenerational dialogue and see so many vibrant, commitment youth here today. We have just listened to 8 representatives of young people. Even though their statement was very brief, you have touched virtually all the areas which our generation, like president, prime ministers, ministers, and governors, and business leaders should listen to very attentively, because this world will be governed by yourself. Even though we may be here on this stage, we may just soon fade away. That's what I think. I was the Secretary General of the United Nations for 10 years. I'm no longer. I'm a private citizen. This is what is happening. Now the world will be yours. That is why it is also very important, crucially important, that the world where you will be living, you will be governing, should be sustainable and climate friendly. We are attacked by our nature here and there, here and there. In any way, young people in Kenya are not waiting on the sidelines. This makes me very happy, very relieved, because you are here to raise your voice. I've been speaking to many young people traveling around the world. I think this world is yours. Raise your voices, challenge your leaders, president, prime ministers, ministers, governors, business leaders. Tell them very clearly, look, Mr. President or Governor, this is the world where I will be here. In that regard, I am very honored, very pleased to be amongst you. And in fact, it would have been much better that we listen from you rather than you listen from me, from us. This is something upside down, but in any way, this was organized by Dr. Verkooijen, so if anything goes wrong, he's responsible in any way. Ladies and gentlemen, I am very proud to address the opening of the Youth Academy on Climate Adaptation and Leadership last year. Today, I'm even prouder and happier to see its graduates here, especially youth from informal settlements, where daily climate change realities are most severe. I have been traveling around the world, any corner of the world. You name any place, I'm sure that I was there. 4 times, 5 times in Arctic and Antarctica, and many other places in Africa. Lake Chad, I was there. And many small island developing states in South Pacific and around the world in any way, where climate change is approaching much, much faster than one may think. You may feel when it comes, but it's not coming with advance notice. It just comes and attacks us. That is why we must be prepared all the time, 24 hours. Dear young leaders, the world today faces twin crises: climate change and the lack of accessible quality education. These challenges are deeply connected. Here in Kenya, we see not only the devastating impact of climate change, like the recent floods that submerged 62 primary schools, but also power of whole of society responses. In informal settlement, youth lead the way, working with universities, local governments to co-create adaptation strategies rooted in their lived experience. You are building the future from the ground up. Education is at the heart of climate adaptation. It strengthens communities, empowers critical thinking, and prepares young people. In fact, when the world leaders adopted Sustainable Development Goals with 17 goals, and I'm proud that I was able to mobilize all government, political, business, and civil society leaders get on the same place at the United Nations and adopted these Sustainable Development Goals. But Sustainable Development Goals, if you look very carefully, are not ambitious enough, commensurate to what is now happening to us. For example, let us look at education. Education means that once a child is born, she or he, young children, should be able to get minimum middle school education. Middle school, we are not talking about college education. Because of lack of resources, because of our facilities, but I think we should level up our ambition. That why not university or minimum high school education? But whenever I was traveling to many African countries, I was feeling strange because there were many school-aged children were running and playing on the streets without going to school. So that's motivated me to raise this issue. And we agreed in any way on Sustainable Development Goals. You youth should not only survive the climate crisis, but also you are entitled to get highest level of education. That's what you can challenge your governments and the United Nations. This is why I approached the Global Center on Adaptation's Global Hub on locally led adaptation and the Youth Academy on Adaptation and Leadership. I lend my full encouragement to continue equipping youth with practical resilience skills. Last year, 165 young people, 100 from informal settlements, were trained through the academy. These graduates have secured jobs and promotions, actively reducing climate impact in their communities. They are translating knowledge into local languages, speaking on radio, and spreading the message of adaptation through words and action. You talked about already adaptation and mitigation. We know why we must mitigate, but we have not known much why we have to adaptation. I think at this time, we must invest much more money, resources, and time, and political consideration, political priority on adaptation. That is why we established with a small GCA, Global Center on Adaptation, at the initiative of Dr. Verkooijen. I was the first chairman. Now this chairmanship is now in the hands of President Macky Sall. We started from very humble way, but now I'm very pleased. After 8 years, the GCA is one of the top most important organizations, international organizations. Now, to the youth here today, I have read your communique. I'm deeply moved by your visions. Let us answer your call today or tomorrow in investing in adaptation education. We need all young people everywhere to be empowered as agents of change. I'm asking you, you just don't wait, sit and wait. Our teachers, professors, our parents, our governors, president may do. but you have to raise your voice. We have no time to waste. Climate justice demands that those at greatest risk have the greatest say. You are the one who has greatest say. I've been speaking out to many young people. Challenge your leaders. Tell them that this is the world where myself, my generation, my succeeding generations will have to live. Then answer comes automatically, naturally. Being joined here today by President Macky Sall is a great honor for me and for us. I believe we all share in that honor. President Macky Sall, among your many accomplishments, you have also championed climate adaptation like no other African leaders. Thank you, Mr. President, for this vital contribution, and I count on your continued leadership. I also want to specifically highlight the lifelong contribution of my dear colleague and friend, Professor Patrick Verkooijen, who is sitting with us. I can honestly say that in all my travels, in all my engagements with the global leaders and business leaders, scholars, in every office I have ever held, I have never come across any individual with this strong drive, passion, not only passion, combined with compassion and level of excellence. This is a very rare person whom we have to really care so that he can lead by example for your succeeding generations' better future. So why don't you applaud him? I have full confidence that both of you, President Macky Sall and Professor Verkooijen, working together will deliver incredible results for climate adaptation for Africa and rest of the whole world. Also, I know that Professor Verkooijen is the best set of hands that could be in place at the University of Nairobi, the premier tertiary institution of this nation. Dear youth leaders, dear friends, let us stand and act and build together. Raise your voice, challenge your leaders. You have prerogative to challenge your leaders. Tell them that, as I said, this is the world where my and my succeeding generations will have to live. Make sure that this world is environmentally sustainable. Environmentally sustainable. That's their political responsibility. You don't have any political responsibility now. I don't have either. I was having political responsibility. I will continue my best effort, and let us work together to realize a better future for all. That is what you are here today. I wish you all the best. Thank you very much. Asante sana.